Welcome to our production of J.M. Barrie's Dear Brutus. I am Cheri Ayres-Graves, and I'm the founder and director of From Page to Stage Productions. And our community players are premiering their rendition of Dear Brutus. Dear Brutus is a play that brings together a group of people. And what they have in common is they all wish they had another chance to make a different choice in their lives. And they are given that chance on Midsummer's Eve. But did it really make a difference in their lives? That's what we're going to find out. As we were performing and rehearsing Dear Brutus, I got to thinking how true this concept was for me. I used to complain, oh, if I only had more time, how much writing I could do, write plays and blogs and books. And all of a sudden, back in March, I find myself sheltered in place with all the time in the world. And have I written a word? Dear Brutus is from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, and the quote is, "The fault does not lie in the stars, dear Brutus, but it lies within ourselves." So sit back and enjoy From Page to Stage Community Players, Dear Brutus.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us for From Page to Stage productions of Dear Brutus. If you would like to support further shows, please click the link below and donate. Thank you, and please enjoy Dear Brutus.
Go on, Cody, lead the way.
Oh dear, I don't know why I should go first.
The nicest always goes first.
Well, it's a strange house if I'm the nicest.
It is a strange house.
Don't close the door. I can't see where the switch is.
Over here.
Oh, we must not waste a second. Our minds are made up, I think.
Now's the time.
Oh yes, now, if at all. But should we?
Certainly, and before the men come in.
You don't think we should wait for the men? They're as much in this as we are.
Love would be with them. If the thing is to be done, it should be done now.
Is it quite fair to Lob? After all, he is our host.
Of course it's not fair to him, but let's do it, Cody.
Yes, let's do it.
Mrs. Dearth is doing it.
Of course I am. The men are not coming, are they?
No, your husband is having another glass of wine.
I'm sure he is. One of you ring, please.
Poor matey.
He richly deserves what he is about to get.
He's coming. Don't all stand huddled together like conspirators.
But we are.
Ah, matey. I wish this telegram be sent.
Very good, ma'am. The post office in the village closed at 8, but if your message is important...
It is. And you are so clever, matey. I'm sure you can persuade them to oblige you.
I will see to it myself on its going out. I will read the telegram now to make sure I can interpret it.
Thank you. Be sure that you can make it out.
Yes. To Great Station, to Police Station, Great Company. Please send police officer tomorrow morning to arrest Matey Butler for theft of rings.
Yes, that is quite right.
Ma'am, my lady,
Should we not say how many rings?
Oh, yes, do put in the number of rings, matey.
Mrs. Cody, Mrs. Dearth, Mrs. Purdie. May I tear up the telegram now, ma'am?
Certainly not.
I am never mistaken in faces. I always said this man was the culprit. I see broad arrows over your face, matey.
It is deeply regretted.
I'm sure it is.
We may as well tell him now that it is not our rings that we are worrying about. They have just been a means to an end, matey.
Precisely. In other words, that telegram is sent
Unless you can tell us instantly what peculiarity it is that all we ladies have in common.
Not only the ladies, all guests in the house.
We have been here a week, and we find that when Lob invited us, he knew us all so little that we began to wonder why he asked us. And now, from words he has let drop, we know that we were invited because of something he thinks we have in common.
But he won't say what it is.
One knows no people could be more unalike.
One does.
And we can't sleep at night, matey, for wondering what that something is.
But we are sure you know. And if you don't tell us, jail.
I don't know what you mean, ladies.
Oh, yes, you do.
You must admit that your master is a rather strange fellow.
He is a little odd, ma'am. That is why people call him Lob and not Mr. Lob.
He is so odd, in fact, that it has gotten on my nerves. I'm sure we've been invited here for some sort of horrid experiment. You look as if you thought so, too.
Oh, no, miss, it's just, you shouldn't have come, ladies. You just shouldn't have come.
Shouldn't have come? Now, my man, what do you mean by that?
I mean, why did you come if you're the kind he thinks?
The kind he thinks?
What kind does he think? Now we're getting at it.
I haven't a notion, ma'am.
I do hope we are all nice women. We don't know each other.
And it is not necessarily our virtue that makes love interested in us?
Oh, no, my lady. Oh, no, my lady.
And yet you know he is rather lovable.
He is a quite lovable old devil. Beg my pardon, ma'am.
You scarcely need to, for in a way it is true. I've seen him out there among his flowers, talking to them, petting them, coaxing them, till they simply had to grow.
It certainly is a divine garden.
How lovely it is in the moonlight. Roses, roses all the way. It's like a hat I had once when I was young.
Lob is such an amazing gardener that I believe he could even grow hats.
He is a wonderful gardener, but is it quite nice at his age? What is his age, man?
He won't tell my lady. I think he's frightened that the police would step in if they knew how old he is.
Oh.
They say in the village that they remember him 70 years ago looking the same as he does today.
Absurd.
Yes, ma'am, but then there are his suits.
His suits?
Yes, if you saw his suits, there is a timeline to them. It's from doublets to hose, to waistcoats and breeches, to frock coats with trousers.
My, aren't we amusing? Was he ever married?
He is quite forgotten, my lady. How long ago since merry old England?
Why do you ask?
Since Shakespeare's time, was it not?
He claims that he is all that is left of merry old England. That little man.
Lob. You know, I think there's a famous cricketer called Lob.
Wasn't there a Lob in Shakespeare? Oh, no, I'm thinking of Robin Goodfellow.
The names are so alike.
Robin Goodfellow was Puck.
That's what was in my mind. Lob is another name for Puck.
And by the way, Lob does call his flowers by the old Elizabethan names.
Yes, I've heard him call sweetbriar eglantine and honeysuckle woodbine.
'Tis true, ma'am. And he also calls the nightingale the philomel. if that is any help.
None whatsoever. Tell me this. Did he specially ask you all for Midsummer Week?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
He
he
did.
did.
He would.
What do you mean by that?
He always likes them here on Midsummer's Night, ma'am.
Them? Whom?
I don't know.
Why, I believe this is Midsummer's Eve.
Yes, miss, it is. The villagers know it. They are all in their house tonight, with the doors barred.
Because of him?
He frightens them. There are stories.
What alarms them? Tell us, or...
I know not for certain, ma'am. I've never done it myself. He has asked me to, but I wouldn't.
Done what?
Oh, ma'am, please be merciful to me. I am not bad naturally. I was just becoming a butler. That's what did it for me, being thrown in with bad companions. Poor turn out so poorly in this world. It's all relevant to you taking the right turning or the wrong one.
I dare say that is true.
When I was young, ma'am, I was offered a clerkship in the city. If I had taken that, there wouldn't be a more happy man alive today. If only I were able to begin over again.
It is sad, Mrs. Dearth.
I am sorry for him, but still...
And what do you say, my lady?
Well, as you ask me, I should certainly say jail.
If you mention no more of this, I will give you a tip that is much worth it.
Ah, now you're talking.
Don't listen to him.
You're the one who is the hardest on me.
Yes, I flatter myself I am.
You might have taken a wrong turning yourself, my lady.
I? How dare you?
The men are rising.
Very well, matey, we are agreed. If the tip is good enough.
You will regret this.
You will not, my lady. The tip is this. Do not go out tonight, even if he asks you. You can go out to the garden. The garden is all right. But I wouldn't go any farther. Not tonight.
But he never proposes us to go farther. Why should he not?
I don't know, ma'am, but please, none of you go. Well, except you, my lady Caroline. I would like it if you were to go.
Cheeky fellow.
Shall I?
Thank you, ma'am.
You should have sent the telegram.
Are you sure you have told us all you know, matey?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, and above all else, do not go into the wood.
The wood? There's no wood within a dozen miles of here.
Correct, ma'am, but all the same, I wouldn't go in it. Not if I were you.
Dear lady, what a magnificent rose! And a rose for a rose.
Oh.
Sorry.
You naughty.
Yes, it is quite a flirtation, isn't it?
Is my husband still sampling the port, Mr. Purdie?
Do you know, I believe he is. Do the ladies like our proposal code?
I haven't told them of it yet. Fact is, I'm afraid it might tire my wife too much. Do you feel equal to a little exertion tonight, Cody? Or is your foot troubling you?
I have been resting it, Cody.
Here is a footstool. There. Is that more comfortable? Presently, my dear, if you're agreeable, we are all going out for a walk.
The garden is all right.
It is not to be the garden. We are going farther afield. We have an adventure for tonight. Get thick shoes and a wrap, Mrs. Dearth. All of you.
And where do you propose to take us?
To find a mysterious wood.
Are you being funny, Mr. Purdie? You've said so yourselves that there are not woods for miles around. It is merely a blot on the landscape.
Ah, on ordinary occasions. But allow us to point out to you, Miss Joanna, that this is Midsummer Eve.
Tell them what you told us, Lob.
It's nonsense, of course. Just foolish talk of the villagers. But they say on Midsummer's Eve, there's a mysterious wood that appears in this part of the country.
Yeah.
Oh, that is one of its most charming features. It never appears in the same place twice, apparently. It has been seen on different parts of the Downs and on Moor Common. Once it was close to Radley Village, and another time about a mile from the sea.
And Lob is anxious that we should all go look for it.
Not he. Lob is the only skeptic in the house. Says it is all rubbish, and that we shall be sillies if we go. But we believe, eh, Purdie?
Absolutely.
Just wasting the evening. Let us stay here and play a nice game of cards instead.
No, sir. I am going to find that wood.
What is the good of it when it is found?
Oh, we shall wander in it deliciously, listening to a new sort of bird called the philomel.
Shall we keep together, Mr. Purdie?
No, we must hunt in pairs.
I think it would be rather fun. Come on, Cody. I'll lace your boots for you. I'm sure your poor foot will carry you nicely.
Miss Trout, wait a moment. Lob, has this wonderful wood any special properties?
Pooh, there is no wood.
You've never seen it?
Not I. I don't believe in it.
Have any of the villagers ever been in it?
So it is said. So it is said.
Well, what did they say were their experiences?
Well, it's unknown because they never came back.
No one ever came back?
Well, you see, in the morning, the wood was gone. So they were gone too.
I don't think I like the sound of this wood.
It certainly is Midsummer Eve.
Of course, if you ladies are against it, we will drop the whole idea. It was only a bit of fun.
Yes, better give it up to please Lob.
Yes.
Oh, all right, Lob. What about that round game of cards?
But I wanted you to go. It's what I wanted. It's not good for me to get what I want.
Oh, good gracious. He has wanted it all along. You wicked Lob.
Now, you see, there is something in it.
Nonsense, Mrs. Dearth. It was only a joke.
Don't cry.
Nobody cares. Nobody loves me, and I need to be loved.
Yes, we do. We all love you, nice Lobby.
Dear love, I'm so fond of you.
Dry his eyes with my own handkerchief.
Oh, don't pamper him.
I need to be pampered.
You funny little man. Let us go at once and look for his wood.
Yes, boots and cloaks, hats forward. Come on, Lady Caroline, just to show that you are not afraid of matey.
Our plan is working. Let's get you back into some water, shall we? No, I would not give you away. You're so beautiful, and your smell divine.
What were you saying to them, Lob?
I was saying 2's a company, and 3 is none.
That man, he suspects.
No one minds Lob, my dear, oh my dear.
But He saw you kiss my hand, Jack. If Mabel were to suspect.
There's nothing for her to suspect.
No, there isn't. Is there? I'm not doing anything wrong. Am I, Jack?
You.
Mabel is your wife, Jack. I should so hate myself if I did anything that was disloyal to her.
Oh, those eyes could never be disloyal, my lady of the nut brown eyes. Oh, Joanna, you are so beautiful. Why are you so beautiful?
All I want is to help her and you.
I know. How well I know, my dear, brave love.
I should like to be the best friend she has in the world.
You are, dearest. No woman ever had a better friend.
And yet, I don't think she really likes me. I wonder why.
Well, it is just that Mabel doesn't understand. Nothing could make me say a word against my wife.
Oh, I wouldn't listen if you did.
I love you all the more, dear, for saying that. But Mabel is a cold nature, and she doesn't understand.
She doesn't appreciate your finer qualities.
That's it. But, of course, I am difficult. I always was a strange, strange creature. I often think, Joanna, that I am rather like a flower that has never had the sun to shine on it, nor the rain to water it.
You break my heart.
I suppose there is no more lonely man than I walking the earth today.
It is so mournful.
It is the thought of you that sustains me. It elevates me. You shine high above me like a star.
No, I wish I was wonderful, but I am not.
You have made me a better man, Joanna.
I am so proud to think that.
You have made me kinder to Mabel.
I'm sure you're always kind to her.
Yes, I hope so, but I now think of special little ways of giving her pleasure. That never to be forgotten day we first met, you and I.
That tragic, lovely day by the river. Oh, Jack.
Do you know how in gratitude I spent the rest of that day?
Tell me.
I read aloud to Mabel for an hour. I did it out of kindness to her because I had met you.
It was dear of you.
Do you remember that first time in my arms, your waist? You were so fluid, Joanna. Why are you so fluid?
I can't help it, Jack.
I gave her a ruby bracelet for that.
It is a gem. You have given that lovely woman many lucky things.
It is my invariable custom to go straight off and buy Mabel something whenever you have been sympathetic to me. Oh, those new earrings of hers. They are in memory of the first day you called me Jack. Her pequin gown, the one with the beads, was because you let me kiss you.
I didn't exactly let you.
No, but you have such a dear way of giving it.
Jack, Mabel hasn't worn that gown of late.
No, nor the jewels. I think she has some sort of idea now that whenever I give her anything nice, it means you have been nice to me. She has a rather suspicious nature, Mabel. She never used to have it, but it seems to be growing on her. I wonder why. I wonder why.
Was that anyone in the garden?
There's no one there now.
I'm sure I heard someone. If it was Mabel, Jack, she would think you were kissing me.
I am so sorry to interrupt you, but wait a moment before you kiss her again. Excuse me, Joanna. The curtains were not yet closed. I don't want the others to see you. They might not understand how noble you are, Jack. You can go on now.
How extraordinary! Of all the... Oh, how contemptible!
Did you call, Joanna?
Mabel, I insist on an explanation. What were you doing in the garden?
I was looking for something I have lost.
Anything important?
I used to fancy it, Jack. It is my husband's love. You don't happen to have picked it up, Joanna. If you have, and you don't set much store by it, I should like it back. The pieces, I mean.
Mabel, to imply that your husband? Oh, shame.
I must say, Mabel, that I am a little disappointed in you. I certainly understood that you had gone upstairs to put on your boots.
Poor old Jack. A woman like that.
I forgive you, Mabel, but you will be sorry for this later.
Not a word against Joanna, Mabel. If you knew how nobly she has spoken of you.
She does know. She has been listening.
This is a man's business. I see I must be open with you now, Mabel. It is the manlier way. If it is your wish, I shall always be true to you in word and deed. It is your right. But I cannot deny that Joanna is not the one woman in the world for me. If I had met her before you, it's kismet, I suppose.
Too late. Too late.
I suppose you never knew what true love was till you met her, Jack.
You forced me to say it. Joanna and I are as one person. We have not a thought at variance. We are one rather than two.
Yes, and that's the one. I am so sorry to have marred your lives.
If blame there is, it is all mine. She is as spotless as the driven snow. The moment I mentioned love to her, she told me to desist.
Not she.
So you were listening. Mabel, can't you see how splendid he is?
Not quite, Joanna.
Jack, how noble it was of you to take it all upon yourself.
It is the man's privilege.
Mabel has such a horrid way of seeming to put people in the wrong.
Have you noticed that? Poor Mabel. It is not an enviable quality.
I don't think I care to go out now. She has spoiled it all. She has taken the innocence out of it, Jack.
Oh, we must be brave and not mind her. Oh, Joanna, if only we had met in time. If only I could begin again. To be battered forever just because I once took the wrong turning. It isn't fair.
The wrong turning. Now, who was saying that a moment ago about himself? Why, it was Matey.
Is that her coming back again? Oh, it's too bad. Oh, it is you, Mrs. Death.
Yes, it is. Thank you for telling me, Mr. Purdie. I don't intrude, do I?
Why should you?
No, not at all. We were rather hoping it would be you. We want to start on the walk. I can't think of what has become of the others. We've been searching for them everywhere.
Well, do go on looking. Under that flower pot would be a good place. It is my husband I am in search of.
Shall I root him out for you?
How too unutterly kind of you, Mr. Purdie. I hate to trouble you, but it would be the sort of service one never forgets.
Do you know, I believe you are chiding me.
No, I am incapable of that.
I won't be a moment.
Miss Trout and I will await your return with bated breath. Yes, I suppose you are right. I dare say I am.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought I heard you say that hateful Dearth woman coming butting in where she is not wanted.
Well, you certainly have good ears.
Yes, they have always been rather admired.
By the painters for whom you sat when you were an artist's model.
So, that has leaked out, has it?
I'm sorry. I should not have stooped that low.
Do you think I care whether you know or not?
I'm sure you don't. Still, it was caddish of me.
I'm uncommonly flattered, Alice, to hear that you've sent for me. It quite takes me aback.
It isn't your company I want, Will.
Well, I felt that Purdie must have delivered your message wrongly.
I want you to come with us on this mysterious walk and keep an eye on Loeb.
On poor little Lob? Oh, surely not.
I can't make the man out. I want you to tell me something. When he invited us here, do you think it was you or me he specially wanted?
Oh, you? He made no bones about it. He said there was something about you that made him want to have you here.
Will, try to remember this. Did he ask us for any particular time?
Well, yes, he was particular about its being a midsummer week.
Ah, I thought so. Did he say what it was about me that made him want to have me here in Midsummer Week?
No, but I presumed it must be your fascination, Alice.
Just so. Well, I want you to come out with us tonight to watch him.
Crack in my eye, Tommy. Spy on my host? Such a harmless little chap, too. Excuse me, Alice, but no. Besides, I have an engagement.
An engagement. With the port decanter, I presume.
Oh, good guess, but wrong. The decanter is now an empty shell. Still, how you know me? No, my engagement is with a quiet cigar in the garden.
Your hand is so unsteady, you won't be able to light the match.
Oh, I shall just manage.
A nice hand for an artist.
Oh, one would scarcely call me an artist nowadays.
Not so far as any work is concerned.
Not so far as having any more pretty dreams to paint is concerned. Wonder why I've become such a waster, Alice.
I suppose it was always in you.
I suppose so. And yet when I was rather a good sort in the days when I went courting you.
Yes, I thought so. Unlucky days for me, as it turned out.
Yes, bad job for you. I didn't know I was a wrong 'un at the time. I thought quite well of myself, and thought a great deal more of you. Crack in my eye, Tommy, how I used to leap out of bed at 6 a.m., all agog to be at my easel. Blood ran through my veins in those days, and now I'm middle-aged and done for. Funny, don't know how it has come about, nor what has made the music mute. When did you begin to despise me, Alice?
When I got to know you really, Will, a long time ago.
Yes, I think that is true. It was a long time ago, and before I had begun to despise myself. It wasn't until I knew you had no opinion of me that I began to go downhill. You will grant that, won't you? And then I did try for a bit to fight on. If you had cared for me, I wouldn't have come to this, surely.
Well, I found I didn't care for you, and I wasn't hypocrite enough to pretend I did. That's blunt, but you used to admire my bluntness.
The bluntness of you, the adorable wildness of you, you untamed thing. There were never any shades in you. Kiss or kill was your motto, Alice. I felt from the first time I laid eyes on you that you would love me or knife me.
I didn't knife you.
No, I suppose that's where you made the mistake. It's hard on you, old girl. I suppose it's too late to try to patch things up.
Let's be honest. It is too late, Will.
Perhaps if we'd had children. Pity.
A blessing, I should think, seeing what sort of father they would have had.
I dare say you're right. Well, Alice, I know that somehow it's my fault. I'm sorry for you.
I'm sorry for myself. If I hadn't married you, what a different woman I should be. What a fool I was.
3 things, they say, come not back to men nor women. The spoken word, the past life, and the neglected opportunity. Wonder if we should make any more of them, Alice, if they did come back to us.
You wouldn't.
I guess you're right.
But
Yes, what a boon for you. I hope it's not Freddie Finch Fallow you would put in my place. I know he's following you about again.
He followed me about, as you put it, before I knew you. I don't know why I quarreled with him.
Well, your heart told you he was no good, Alice.
My heart told me that you were, so it wasn't of much service to me, my heart.
The Honorable Freddie Finch Fallow is a rotter.
You are certainly an authority on the subject.
You have me there.
Here they are. Are you ready, my dear Mrs. Coade?
Are you not coming with us to go look for the wood, Mr. Dearth?
Alas, I am unavoidably detained. You'll find me in the garden when you come back.
If we ever do come back.
Precisely. Should we never meet again, Alice, I fare thee well. Purdie, if you find the tree of knowledge in the wood, bring me an apple, would you?
I promise.
Come quickly, all of you out the door. Matey mustn't see me.
Why mustn't he see you?
He would take me off to bed. It's past my time.
You know, old fellow, you make it very difficult for us to embark upon this adventure in the proper eerie spirit.
Well, I'm for the garden.
How now, Dearth? Why the garden and not the wood?
What is it we get in that wood, Lob?
Ah, you won't tell us that.
Come on.
Tell us first before we go into the woods.
Well, they say that you get what everybody here is looking for. A second chance.
A second chance. So that is what we all have in common.
I've often thought, Cody, that if I had a second chance, I should be a useful man instead of just a nice lazy one.
A second chance.
Come on.
Yes, out the door and to the wood.
Oh, wait, stop. Why not go this way, through the garden?
The garden is now the wood.
Anyone ready to risk it?
Of course, there's nothing in it. Just,
Of course. Going out, Purdie.
Well, I mean, I happen to know.
I shall go. Be back in a moment, probably.
He does not come back.
It's horrible. I can't bear it. Come with me, Cody.
I will go. I long for another chance.
Mabel!
You'll have to go now, Mr. Purdie.
Together, Joanna.
That's enough. That's enough. Don't you go, Mrs. Dearth. She'll catch it if you do.
A second chance. So long, Lob.
One would like to know. Mrs. Dearth, do wait.
Cody, come up.
I must know.
Ah, Lobster, it is past your bedtime. You say goodnight to the guests and come along.
Matey, look.
Great heavens. Then it's true.
Yes. But I wasn't sure. Come closer. Ha! Second chance indeed.
Is it not a lovely night, Jim? Listen, mine own, to the Philomel. Oh, what's that? Oh! He is saying he is lately married. So are we, you ducky mignon! I feel, Jim, that I am Rosalind and you are my Orlando.
What do you say I am, Caroline?
Mine own one. Wouldn't it be fun if we were to write poems and pin them on tree trunks?
Poems? I've never known such a lass for such high-flown language.
Your lass, dearest, Jim's lass.
And don't you forget it.
And what would you do if I were to forget it, you great bear?
I would take a stick to you.
I love it when you talk that way, so virile. Oh, I always knew it was a master I needed.
It is what you all need.
Oh, it is, you knowing brute.
Listen, Caroline. That is what gets the ladies.
And how much have you made this week, you wonderful man?
Just another 200 or so. That is all. 200 or so.
My dear golden fetter, listen to him. Kiss my fetter, Jim.
Wait until I light this cigar.
Let me hold the darling match.
Such a tidy-looking petite corona, this. There was a day when one of these would have ran away with 2 days of my pay.
How I should have loved to have known you, Jim, when you were poor. Fancy your having once been a clerk.
We all have our beginnings, but it wouldn't have mattered. I would have rised up to the top all the same. I am a climber, and there are nails in my boots for the companies below me. Boots! If I were a bootmaker, I would have been the first bootmaker in London.
Yes, I'm sure you would. But should you have made the best boots?
Ah, that is very clever. That is the cleverest thing I think I've ever heard you say, Caroline. But it's getting late. We had better be heading back to our Rolls Royce.
Oh, I do hope the ground wasn't damp.
It did not matter. I was laying on your rug.
Excuse me, sir. I wonder, sir, whether you happen to have seen my husband? I seem to have lost him in the woods.
We are strangers in these parts. Have we passed anyone, Caroline?
Oh, should we have noticed, dear? Oh, perhaps it is that old gent over there.
Oh no, my husband is quite young.
Seems to be a merry old cock. Evening to you, sir. Do you happen to have seen a young gentleman in the woods, all by himself, looking for his wife?
Can't say that I have.
He isn't necessarily by himself, and I don't know that he's looking for me. There may be a young lady with him.
Oh!
What do you mean by that?
Oh. Do you like that better?
Now, Caroline, your manners.
Would he be dancing? Or juggling?
Oh no, at least I hope not.
Hope not? Odd. Well, if he's doing neither, I'm not likely to notice him. But if I do, what name shall I say?
Purdie. I am Mrs. Purdie.
I'll try to keep a lookout for him. But I am rather occupied at the present.
I'm sorry I troubled you. I see him now.
Is he alone? I see by your face he isn't.
Caroline, no awkward questions. Evening, missus. I hope you get him to come along with you quietly. Watch the old conquer frolic.
No, and no. I don't know you nearly well enough for that. Besides, what would your wife say? I shall begin to think you are a very dreadful man, Mr. Purdie.
Surely you might call me Jack by this time.
Only if you are very good, Jack.
If only Joanna were more like you.
More like me. Her face, you mean? Well, if it's not precisely pretty, it is a good face. I don't mind her face at all. I'm glad you have such a dependable little wife, Jack.
Thanks.
What would Joanna have said if she had seen you just now?
A wife should be incapable of jealousy.
Joanna jealous? But has she any reason? Tell me, Jack, who is the woman?
Shall I, Mabel? Shall I?
I can't think who she is. Have I ever seen her?
Every time you look in a mirror.
That can't be. When I look in a mirror, I see only myself.
How adorably innocent you are, Mabel. Joanna would have guessed it at once.
Not that.
Shall I tell you now?
I don't know, Jack. I'm not quite sure. Try not to say it, but if you feel you must, say it in such a way that would not hurt the feelings of Joanna if she happened to be passing by, as she nearly always is.
I'd rather not say it at all than that way. I don't know whether you have noticed, Mabel, that I'm not like other men. All my life, I have been a spirit that has had to walk alone. Even as a child, I had no hope that it would be different. I distinctly remember when I was 6 thinking how unlike other children I was. Before I was 12, I suffered from terrible self-depreciation. I do so still. I suppose there never was a man who had a more lowly opinion of himself.
Jack, you who are so universally admired.
That doesn't help. I remain my own judge. I'm afraid I'm a dark spirit, Mabel. Yes, yes, my dear. Let me leave nothing untold, however it may damage me in your eyes. Oh, your eyes. I cannot remember a time when I did not think of love as a great consuming passion. I visualized it, Mabel, as perhaps few have done, as the abounding joy that could come to others, but never to me. I expected too much of woman. I suppose I was touched to finer issues than most. And that has been my tragedy.
And then you met Joanna.
Then I met Joanna. Yes, foolishly as I now see. I thought she would understand that I was far too deep a nature really to mean the little things I sometimes said to her. I suppose a man was never placed in such a position before. What was I to do? Remember, I was always certain that the ideal love could never come to me. Whatever the circumstances, I was convinced that my soul must walk alone.
Joanna, how could you?
Oh, no. Not a word against her, Mabel. If blame there is, it is all mine.
So you married her?
So I married her.
Out of pity?
I felt it was a man's part. It was pleasant to me to have the right to pay a woman's bills. I enjoyed seeing her garments lying about on my chairs. In time, that exultation wore off, but I was not unhappy. I didn't expect much. I was always so sure that no woman could ever plumb the well of my emotions.
And then you met me.
Then I met you.
Too late. Never. Forever. Forever. Never. They're the saddest words in the English tongue.
At the time, I thought a still sadder word was Joanna.
Jack, what was it you saw in me that made you love me?
I think it was the feeling that you're so like myself.
You've noticed it too, Jack? Sometimes it has almost terrified me.
We think the same thoughts. We are not two, Mabel. We are one. Oh, your hair.
Joanna knows you admire it, and she did hers the same way for a week.
I never noticed.
That's why she stopped. And it didn't really suit her. To be honest, I don't think there's a way of doing dear Joanna's hair. What are you muttering to yourself, Jack? Don't keep anything from me.
I was repeating a poem I have written. It is in 2 words. Mabel Purdie. May I teach it to you, sweet? Say Mabel Purdie to me.
If I were to say it, Jack, I should be false to Joanna. Don't ever ask me to be that. Let's go on.
Say it, Mabel, say it. See, I write it on the ground with your sunshade.
If it could be, Jack, whisper it to me.
Daddy, here is the place. I found it. Cracking my eye, Tommy.
Yes, this is the tree I stuck my easel under last night, and behold the blessed moon, behaving more gorgeously than ever. I am sorry to have kept you waiting, old moon, but you ought to know by now how time passes. Now, keep still while I hand you down to posterity.
The moon is looking rather pale tonight, isn't she?
How comes of keeping late hours?
Daddy, watch me, look at me. Please, sweet moon, pleasant expression. No, not as if you were sitting for it. That is too professional. There, that is better, thank you. Now keep it. That is the sort of thing you say to them, Dad.
I oughtn't have brought you out so late. You should be tucked up in your cozy bed at home.
I can't sleep when the moon's at the full. She keeps calling to me to get up. Perhaps I'm her daughter too.
Gad, you look it tonight.
Do I? Then can't you paint me into the picture as well as Mama? You could call it a mother and daughter.
Oh, moon, more beautiful than any two-penny, halfpenny daughter.
Daddy, do you really prefer her?
Shh. She's not a patch on you. It's the sort of thing we say to our sitters to keep them in good humor.
Dad, what a funny man. Hold me tight, Daddy. I'm frightened. I think they want to take you away from me.
Who, Poppet?
I don't know. It's too lovely. I won't be able to keep hold of it.
What is?
The world, everything. And you, Daddy, most of all. Things that are too beautiful can't last.
Now, how did you find that out?
I don't know. Daddy, am I sometimes stranger than other people's daughters?
More of a madcap, perhaps.
Do you think I'm sometimes too full of gladness?
My sweetheart, you do sometimes run over with it.
To be very happy, dearest dear, is so near to being very sad.
How did you find that out,
I don't
child?
know. From something in me that's afraid. Daddy, what is a might have been?
I might have been. They're ghosts, Margaret. I dare say I might have been a great swell of a painter instead of just this uncommonly happy nobody. Or again, I might have been a worthless, idle waster of a fellow.
You?
Who knows? Some little kink in me might have set me off on the wrong road, and that poor soul I might so easily have been might have had no Margaret. Oh, my word, I'm sorry for him.
So am I. The poor old Daddy, wondering about the world without me.
And there are other might have beens. Lovely ones, but intangible. Shades, Margaret, made of sad folks' thoughts.
I am so glad I am not a shade. How awful it would be, Daddy, to wake up and find one wasn't alive.
It would, dear.
Wouldn't it be awful? I think men need daughters.
They do.
Especially artists.
Oh, yes, especially artists.
Fame is not everything.
Fame is rot. Daughters are the thing.
Daughters are the thing.
Daughters are the thing.
Daddy, at what age are we nicest?
The nicest time in a father's life is the year before she puts up her hair.
I suppose that is a splendid time. However, there is a nicer year coming to you.
Is there, darling?
Daddy, the year she does put up her hair.
Puts it up forever? You know, I'm afraid that when the day for that comes, I shan't be able to stand it. It will be too exciting. Oh, my poor heart, Margaret.
Shut your eyes, Dad. I shall give you a glimpse into the future.
I don't know that I want that. The present is so good.
Shut your eyes, please.
No, Margaret.
Please, Daddy.
Oh, all right. They are shut.
Now don't open them until I tell you. What finger is that?
The dirty one.
Daddy. Daddy, I am now putting up my hair. I've got such a darling of a mirror. It is a little pool of water. I wish we could take it home and hang it up. Of course, the moment my hair is up, there will be other changes also. For instance, I shall talk quite differently. You see, I can't call you Dad when my hair is up. I think I shall call you Parent. Parent, dear, do you remember the days when your Margaret was but a slip of a girl who sat on your knee? How foolish we were, Parent, in those distant days.
See here. I want to go on painting. May I look now?
I'm not quite sure whether I want you to. It makes such a difference. Perhaps you won't know me. Even the pool is looking a little scared. What do you think? Will I do?
Stand still, dear. Let me look my fill. Oh, the Margaret that is to be.
You'll see me often enough, Dad, like this, so you don't need to look your fill. And you are looking as if this were to be the only time.
Was I? Surely it isn't to be that.
Now you are thinking about my being in love someday.
Rot.
I won't, you know. No, never. I've quite decided. Will you hate him at first, Dad?
Whom?
You know what I mean, quite well. Would you hate him at first?
I hope not. I should want to strangle him, but I won't hate him.
Of course, I will have no say in the matter. You do everything for me.
I can't help it.
You will even write my love letters, if I ever have any to write, which I won't.
Surely to goodness, Margaret, I will leave you alone to do that.
Not you. You will try to, but you won't be able.
I want you see, to do everything exquisitely. I do wish I could leave you to do more for yourself. I suppose it's owing to my having had to be father and mother both. I knew practically nothing about the bringing up of children, and of course I couldn't trust you to a nanny.
Not you. So sure you could do it better yourself. Dad, if I ever should marry, not that I will, but if I should, will you let me be the one who says I do?
I suppose I deserve this.
You think I'm pretty, don't you, Dad? Whatever other people say.
Oh, not so bad.
I know I have nice ears.
Well, they're all right now, but I had to work on them for months.
You don't mean to say that you did my ears?
Rather.
My dimple is my own.
I'm glad you think so. Wore out the tip of my little finger on that dimple. Spent ages.
Even my dimple? Have I anything that is truly my own? Bit of my nose, maybe.
When you were but a babe, you had the most delightful laugh, which was all your own.
Shall I tell you my farthest back recollection? I remember the first time I saw the stars. I had never seen night, and then I saw it and the stars together. Crack in my eye, Tommy. It isn't everyone who can boast of such a lovely, lovely recollection for their earliest, is it?
I was determined your earliest should be a good one.
You don't mean to say you planned it?
Rather. Most people's earliest recollection is of some trivial thing. How they cut their finger, lost a piece of string. I was resolved my Margaret's should be something bigger. I was poor, but I could give her the stars.
Oh, how you love me, Daddykins.
Oh, yes, I do. Rather.
Good evening.
Good evening, Missy, Mr.
Lost anything?
When the tourists have come and had their sandwiches, they sometimes have the bits that are left over and they squeeze them between the roots to keep the place tidy. I'm looking for bits.
You don't tell me you're as hungry as that.
Try me.
Oh, Daddy, I ate my last biscuit.
Oh, we must think of something else.
Yes, wait a bit. We are sure to think of something. Daddy, think of something.
Your father doesn't like you to touch the likes of me.
Oh, yes, he does. And if he didn't, I'd do it all the same. This is a bit of myself, Daddy.
That's what you think.
You needn't be angry with her, mister. I'm all right.
Oh, I am not angry with her. I'm very sorry for you.
If I had my rights, I would be as good as you, and better.
I dare say.
I have had men servants, and a motor car.
Margaret and I have never rose to that.
I have been in a taxi several times, and Dad often gets telegrams.
Margaret.
Oh, sorry, I boasted.
Oh, that's nothing. I have a townhouse. At least I had a townhouse. At any rate, he said there was a townhouse.
Fancy his not knowing for certain.
The Honorable Mrs. Finch Fallow. That's who I am.
It's a wonderful name.
Curse him.
Don't you like him?
We won't go into that. I have nothing to do with your past, but I wish we had some food for you.
You haven't a flask?
Oh, no, I don't partake myself. But let me see.
I know. You said we had £5. Would you like £5?
Darling, don't be daft. We haven't paid our bill at the inn.
All right. I never asked you for anything.
Oh, don't take me up in that way. I have had my ups and downs myself. Here's 10 bob, and welcome.
And I have half a crown. It is quite easy for us. Dad will be getting another £5 any day. You can't think how exciting it is when a £5 comes in. We dance, and then we run out and buy chops.
Margaret.
It's kind of you. I'm richer this minute than I have been for many a day.
It's nothing. I'm sure you would do the same for us.
I wish I was as sure.
Of course you would. Glad to be of any help. Get some victuals as quickly as you can. Best of wishes, ma'am, and may your luck change.
Same to you. And may yours go on.
Good night.
What is her name, mister?
Oh, Margaret.
Margaret. You drew something good out of the lucky bag when you got her, mister.
Oh, yes.
Take care of her. They are easily lost.
Poor soul. I expect she's had a rough time and that some man is to blame for it. Partly, at any rate. That woman rather affects me, Margaret. I don't know why. Didn't you like her husky voice? I say, Margaret, we lucky ones, let's swear always to be kind to people who are down on their luck. When we are kind, let's be a little kinder.
Yes, let's.
Margaret always feels sorry for the failures, the ones who are always failures, especially in my sort of calling. Wouldn't it be lovely to turn them on the 39th year of failure into glittering successes?
Oh, topping.
Topping?
Topping.
What could we do for our friend who passed just now? I can't get her out of my head.
Dad, I didn't like it.
Didn't like what, dear?
I didn't like her saying that about you losing me.
Oh, I shan't lose you.
It would be hard for me if you lost me, but it would be worse for you. I don't know how I know that, but I do know it. What would you do without me?
Oh, don't talk like that, dear. It is wicked and naughty. Somehow that poor woman, well, I won't paint any more tonight.
Let's get out of the wood. It frightens me.
And you loved it a moment ago. Hello. I hadn't noticed there was a house there.
Daddy, I feel certain there was not a house there.
Oh, Goose, it's just that we didn't look. Our old way of letting the world go hang, so interested in ourselves. Nice behavior for people who've been boasting about what they would do for other people. Now I see what I ought to do.
Let's get out of the wood.
Yes, but my idea first. It is to rouse these people and get food from them for the husky one.
No, she is too far away now.
Oh, I can overtake her.
Don't go into that house, Dad. I don't know why, but I'm afraid of that house.
Oh, now. There's a kiss for each moment until I come back. Oh, naughty. Go stand in the corner. Oh, who's got a nasty temper? I shall be back before you can count 100. Oh, I love the moon, Margaret.
Daddy, come back. I don't want to be a might have been.
A pretty little room. I wonder who's the owner.
It doesn't matter. The great thing is that we have escaped Joanna.
Jack, look, a man.
Oh, he's asleep.
Do you know him?
Not I. Excuse me, sir. Hi.
Darling, how extraordinary.
Well, after all, precious, have we any right to wake a stranger just to tell him your runaway is hiding in his house?
I think he would expect it of us.
All righty then. There is no budging him.
At any rate, we've done the civil thing. There have evidently been people here, but they haven't drunk their coffee. Ugh, cold as a deserted egg in a bird's nest. Jack, if you are a clever detective, you could construct these people out of their empty coffee cups. I wonder who they are and what has spirited them away.
Perhaps they've only gone to bed. Ought we to wake them up?
I think not, dear. I suppose we have run away, Jack. Meaning to?
Irrevocably. Mabel, if the dog-like devotion of a lifetime would... He's not shamming, do you think?
Shake him again.
It is all right. Mabel, if the dog-like devotion of a lifetime
Poor
would...
little Joanna. Still, if a woman insists on being a pendulum round a man's neck.
You let me finish, Mabel. If the dog-like devotion of a lifetime... May I say, this is just a little too much, Joanna.
So, sweet husband, your soul is still walking alone, is it?
How can you sneak about in this way, Joanna? Have you no pride?
Please, address me as Mrs. Purdie, madam. Who is this man?
We don't know, and there's no waking him. You can try if you like.
You were saying something about the devotion of a lifetime. Please, go on.
I don't think I like to before you, Joanna.
Oh, don't mind me.
I should certainly like to say it.
And I shall be proud to hear it.
You wouldn't put your hands over your ears. I should have liked to spare you this.
No, sir.
Fie, Joanna. Surely a wife's natural delicacy.
As you take it in that spirit, I can proceed with a clear conscience. If the dog-like devotion of a lifetime...
Did he move?
It isn't that. I'm feeling rather funny. Did one of you tap me just now on the forehead?
I have been in this room before.
There is something coming rushing back to me.
I seem to know that coffee set. If I do, the lid of the milk jug is chipped. It is!
I can't remember this man's name, but I'm sure it begins with L.
Lob.
Lob?
Lob!
Mabel, your dress!
How on earth?
My dress! You were in knickerbockers in the woods.
And so I am now? When did I change? The wood. Let me think. The wood. The wood certainly, but the wood wasn't the wood.
My head is going round.
Lob's wood. I remember it. We were here. We did go.
So we did, but how could? Where was?
And who was?
And what was?
Don't let go. Hold on to what we were doing, or we shall lose grip of ourselves. Devotion. Something about devotion. Hold on to devotion. If the dog-like devotion of a lifetime. Which one of you was I saying that to?
To me.
Are you sure?
I am not quite sure.
Joanna, what do you think? Which one of you is my wife?
I am. No, I am not. It is Mabel who is your wife.
Me?
Well, of course you are, Mabel.
I believe I am.
And how can that be? I was running away with you.
Well, you don't need to do it now.
The wood. Hold on to the wood. The wood is what explains it. Oh, I see the whole thing. Lob, you infernal old rascal. Nobody speak for a moment. Think first. Love. Hold on to love. Oh, I say, I believe I am not a deeply passionate chap at all. I believe I am just a philanderer.
It is what you are.
Mabel, what about ourselves?
I didn't know. Just a philanderer? And if people don't change, I suppose we shall begin all over again.
I dare say, but not with each other. I may philander again, but not with you.
Jack Purdie. Jack Purdie. He's a fine fellow, I used to think you. The wood has taught me one thing at any rate.
What, Jack?
That it isn't accident that shapes our lives.
No, it's fate.
It's not fate, Joanna. Fate is something outside us. What really plays the dickens with us is something in ourselves. Something that makes us go on doing the same sort of fool things, however many chances we get.
Something in ourselves?
Something we are born with.
Can't we cut out the beastly thing?
Depends, I expect, on how long we have pampered him. We can at least control him if we try hard enough, but I have for the moment an abominably clear perception that the likes of me never really tries. Forgive me, Joanna. No, you, Mabel. Both of you. It isn't very pleasant to discover that one is a rotter. I suppose I shall get used to it.
I could forgive anybody, anything, tonight. It is so lovely not to be married to you, Jack.
I can understand that. I do feel small.
You will soon swell up again.
It's the appalling thing. But at present, at any rate, I am a rag at your feet, Joanna. No, yours, Mabel. Are you going to pick me up again? I don't advise it.
I don't know whether I want to, Jack. To begin with, which of us is your lonely soul in search of?
Which of us is the fluid one, or the fluider one?
Are you and I one? Or are you and Joanna one? Or are the three of us two?
He wants you to whisper in his ear, Mabel, the entrancing poem, Mabel Purdie. Do it, Jack. There will be nothing wrong in it now.
Rub it in.
When I meet Joanna's successor.
No, Mabel, none of that. At least credit me with having my eyes open at last. There will be no more of this. I should.
He is off again.
Oh, Lord, so I am. Oh.
Don't, Joanna.
No, she is quite right. I was. In my present state of depression, which won't last, I feel there's something in me that will make me go on being the same fool, however many chances I get. My whole being is corroded. Shakespeare knew what he was talking about. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings.
I suppose for Dear Brutus, we are to read Dear Audience.
You have it.
Meaning that we have the power to shape ourselves.
We have the power right enough.
But isn't that rather splendid?
For those who have the grit in them, yes. And they are not the dismal chappies. They are the ones with the thin, bright faces. I'm afraid there's not much fight left in me, Mabel, but we shall see. If you catch me at it again, have the goodness to whisper to me in passing, Lob's wood. That may cure me for the time being.
Perhaps I will, Jack. As long as I care to do so. It's up to you how long that is to be.
I feel that there is hope in that, as well as warning. Perhaps the wood may have been, and perhaps it proved to be useful after all. You know, we are not people worth being sorrowful about, so let us laugh. We have forgotten the others. I wonder what's happened to them.
Oh, yes, what about them? Have they changed?
I didn't see any of them in the wood.
Perhaps we did see them, but we didn't recognize them. We didn't know Lob.
Oh, that's true.
Won't it be delicious to be here and see them when they come back and wake up or whatever it was we did?
But what was it we did? I think something tapped me on the forehead.
How do we know the others will come back?
We don't know. How awful.
Listen.
I distinctly hear someone on the stairs.
It will be Matey.
Be cautious, both of you. Don't tell them we've had any odd experiences.
Oh, so you're back at last. A fine house, I must say. But where's Cody?
Cody? Did he go into the wood too?
Well, I suppose so. I've been down several times looking for him.
Cody too?
I wonder. Oh, how awful.
What's awful, Joanna?
Nothing. I was just wondering what he's doing.
Doing? What should he be doing? Did you have any odd experiences in the wood?
No, nothing.
We just strolled about and came back. Have you seen him?
Oh, yes. Lob's been like that the whole time. A sort of stupor, I think. And sometimes the strangest grin comes over his face.
Grin?
As if he were seeing amusing things in his sleep.
I dare say he is. Oughtn't we to get Matey to him?
Well, Matey's gone too.
What?
Well, at any event, he's not in the house.
Matey, I wonder who's with him.
Must somebody be with him?
Oh, no, not at all.
Well, I hope it's Cody.
No, I hope not.
Why, Mrs. Purdie?
Dear Mrs. Coad, whoever he is and whatever he does, I beg you not to be surprised. Though we have had no odd experiences in the wood, others may not have been as fortunate.
Oh, it is Matey.
Do come in.
Thank you. With apologies, ladies and gentlemen, may I ask who is the host?
A very reasonable request. Sitting there.
Just to ask you, sir, if you may direct me to my hotel. The gentleman seems to be reposing.
It is Lob.
What is a lob?
Surely you haven't forgotten.
Anything we can do for you, sir? Just give it a name.
I hope you're not alone. Do say you have some lady friends with you.
My wife is with me.
His wife! Oh, you have been quick.
I didn't know you were married.
Why should you, ma'am? You act as if you know me.
Good gracious, do you really think I don't?
Sit down, my dear sir, and make yourself comfy.
Well, thank you, but my wife and...
Oh yes, bring her in. We are simply dying to make her acquaintance.
Ah, you are very good. I'm much obliged.
Who can she be?
Yes, who?
What an extraordinary wood. He didn't seem to know who he was at all.
Don't worry about that, Cody, darling. He will know soon enough.
And so will the little wife. Whoever she is, I hope she's fond of butlers.
It's Lady Caroline.
Oh, joy! And she was so sure she couldn't take the wrong turning.
May I present my wife, Lady Caroline Matey.
How do you do?
Your servant, Lady Caroline.
Lady Caroline Matey? You?
Charmed, I'm sure.
Very pleased to meet any wife of Mr. Matey.
Allow me. The Duchess of Candelabra, the ladies Helena and Matilda Monab. I am the Lord Chancellor.
I have wanted so long to make your acquaintance.
Charmed, I'm sure.
These informal meetings are so delightful, don't you think?
Yes, quite.
And your friend by the fire?
Oh, we shall introduce him to you when you wake up. I mean, when he wakes up.
Perhaps I should have said I am James Matey.
The James Matey.
A name might not as well known in the world of finance.
Oh, so you did take that clerkship in the city.
I began as a clerk. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
And fancy that now, and did it save you?
Save me, madame?
Excuse us. We only meant, did it keep you honest, or are you still a pilferer?
Husband mine. What does she mean?
No offense. We mean a pilferer on a large scale.
If you were referring to the Labrador business or the Working Women's Bank,
Oh, got it.
those
Yeah.
were not proved.
Mabel, Jack, here's another one of us. My friend, you see, there's more in it than simply taking the wrong turning. You would always take the wrong turning. Tra-la-la.
Now see here, if you are casting any aspirations upon my husband, allow me to say that a prouder wife than I does not today exist.
My dear, be careful. As long as you are satisfied, Lady Caroline. But I thought you shied away from all blood that was not blue.
You thought. Why should you think about me? I beg to assure you that I adore my husband, Jim. Whatever are you doing, Jim?
I don't understand it, Caroline, but this feels at home in my hands.
Caroline!
Look at me well. Don't you know me?
I don't know you, ma'am, but I seem to associate you with hard-boiled eggs. You like your eggs hard-boiled.
Yes. Hold on to hard-boiled eggs. She used to tip you especially for them.
Oh,
Oh, yes, that was the pocket.
Tim!
Tip!
Jolly word, isn't it?
It seems to set me thinking.
Oh, why is my work basket in this house?
You are living here, you know.
That is what a person feels. But when did I come? This is very odd. But one feels that one ought to say when one did go.
She is coming to with a whoosh.
Mr. Purdie.
Mrs. Coad!
Governor, my clothes.
Oh, one is in an evening dress.
You will understand clearly in a minute, Caroline. And Jim, you didn't really take that clerkship in the city. You went into domestic service, but in the essentials, you haven't altered.
I'll have my shaving water at 7:30 sharp, matey.
Very good, sir.
Sir! Oh. Midsummer's Eve. The wood!
Yes, hold on to the wood.
You are. Oh, you are Lady Caroline Laney. Oh.
It is matey.
Oh.
The butler! Oh.
You seemed quite happy with him, Lady Caroline.
Oh.
We won't tell.
Oh, Caroline matey. But I seem to like it. How horrible!
It is rather difficult to see what we should do next.
Perhaps if I were to go downstairs.
Yes. It would be conferring a personal favor on us all.
Yes.
Oh, it's all that brute's doing. Oh, he's the one to bring up little.
Cody.
Cody, why does he sound so happy?
Dear, hold my hand.
Won't he know me?
Mrs. Coad, I'm so sorry. It didn't matter so much for the likes of us, but for your sake, I wish Cody hadn't gone out.
We that have been happily married these 30 years.
May I intrude? My name is Coad. Fact is, I was just playing about in the wood juggling, and I saw your light.
Playing about in the wood juggling?
And why not, madam?
Madam, don't you know me?
No, I don't know you, but I wish I did.
Do you? Why?
If I may say so, you have a very soft, lovable face.
Was there anyone with you playing about in the wood?
No, no one was with me.
No lady?
Certainly not. I am a bachelor.
Don't give it away, dear. It might be much worse.
A bachelor. And you're sure you've never seen me? Spoken to me before? Do think.
Not to my knowledge, never. Except in my dreams.
What did you say to her in your dreams?
I said, my dear. Odd.
The darling man.
But how could you say such things to an old woman?
Old? I didn't think of you as old. No, no. Young, with the morning dew still on your face, coming across the lawn in a black and green dress, and carrying such a pretty parasol.
That was how he first met me. He used to love me in black and green, and that was a pretty parasol. But look at me. I'm old. I can't be the same woman.
Old? Yes, I suppose so. But it is the same soft, lovable face and the same kind, beaming smile that children could warm their hands at.
He always liked my smile.
So do we all.
Emma.
He hasn't forgotten my name.
It is sad that we didn't meet long ago. I think I have been waiting for you. I don't suppose you could overlook my being an old fellow, could you?
He is going to propose to her again. Cody, you happy thing. He's been wanting the same soft face after 30 years.
I think that must be it, but we mustn't be too sure. What exactly do you want, Mr. Coad?
I want to have the right to hold the parasol over you. Won't you be my wife, my dear, and so give my long dream of you a happy ending?
Kisses are not called for at our age, Cody, but here's a muffler for your old neck.
My muffler! I have missed it. Why, how is this?
He's coming too.
Lob! Bless me, Cody, I went into that wood.
And without your muffler, you who are so subject to chills. What are you looking for?
My juggling balls. Gone, of course they are. It's rather a pity, but have I been saying awful things to you?
You have been making her so proud. It's a compliment to our whole sex. You had a second chance, and it's her again.
Of course it is. But I see I was just the same nice old lazy Cody as before. And I had thought that if I had a second chance, I could do things. I've often said to you, Cody, that it was owing to my being cursed with resources that I didn't write my great book. But this time, we had no resources, and I haven't written a word.
That needn't make you feel lonely in this house.
You seem to have been rather happy as an old bachelor, dear.
I am surprised at myself, Emma, but I fear I was.
I wonder if what it means is that you don't especially need even me. I wonder if you're just the sort of amiable fellow who would be happy anywhere and anyhow.
It can't be as bad as that.
Certainly not. It is a romance, and I won't have it looked upon as anything else.
Thank you, Joanna. You will try not to miss frolicking in the wood too much?
You are all I need.
Yes, but I am not so sure as I used to be that that's such a great compliment.
Cody, behave.
It is Mrs. Dearth. She's alone. Who would have expected that of her?
She's a wild one, Jack, but I sometimes thought rather a dear. I hope she's gotten off cheaply.
Pleased to meet you, stranger.
I was afraid such an unceremonious entry might startle you.
Not a bit.
So stupid of me. I lost myself in the wood and...
Of course you did. Never mind. Please, tell us your name.
Yes, your name.
Of course. I am the Honourable Mrs. Finch Fallow.
Oh, of course.
I hope Mr. Fallow is very well. We don't know him personally, but may we have the pleasure of seeing him bob up presently?
No, I'm not sure where he is.
I wonder if the dear clever police know where he is.
No, they don't. So awkward. I gave my sandwiches to a poor girl and her father whom I met in the wood, and now, isn't it a nuisance? I am quite hungry. May I?
Oh, poor soul.
We are anxious to know whether you met a friend of ours in the wood. Mr. Dearth? Perhaps you know him.
Dearth? I don't know any Dearth.
Oh dear, what a wood.
He is a front door sort of man. Knocks and wings, you know?
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Well, I meet so many. You see, I go out a great deal, and I have visiting cards, printed ones.
How very distingué. Perhaps Mr. Dearth has painted your portrait. He is an artist, you know.
Very likely.
Dearth. His name is Dearth. It's not Dearth. It's Dearth. Sorry.
Dearth, it's very likely. They all wanted to paint me. I dare say that is the man to whom I gave my sandwiches.
But I thought you said he had a daughter.
Such a pretty girl. I gave her half a crown.
A daughter? That can't be Dearth.
Don't be too sure. Was the man you speak of a rather chop-fallen, gone to seed sort of person?
Well, no, I thought him a rather jolly, attractive man.
Dearth? Jolly? Attractive? Oh, no. Did he say anything about his wife?
Yes, do try to remember if he mentioned her.
No, he didn't.
He was far from jolly in her time.
Well, perhaps that was the lady's fault.
Oh, the moon.
Dearth's
I
voice.
love the moon.
He sounds quite merry.
The moon is
Alice, dear, hold my hand.
Oh, this is gonna be horrible.
Oh, the moon. Oh, pardon me for bouncing in on you in this way, but really, I have an excuse. I'm a painter of sorts, and
How delightful to see you looking so well, Mr. Dearth. Like a new man, isn't he?
I'm certainly very well, if you care to know, but did I tell you my name?
No, but we have an instinct in this house.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Here's the situation. My daughter and I have met in the wood a poor woman famishing for want of food. We were as happy as grigs ourselves, but the sight of her distress cut us up. Could you give us something for her? Why are you looking so startled? May I have this cake? I feel I can't be mistaken. It was you I met in the wood? Have you been playing some trick on me? It was for her I wanted the food.
Have you come to take back the money you gave me?
Your dress! You were almost in rags when I saw you outside.
I don't understand.
For that matter, Dearth, I dare say you were different in the wood, too.
What?
Where am I? I seem to know you. Do I?
Yes, my dear. Hold my hand and you'll soon remember all about it.
I'm afraid, Mr. Dearth, this is harder on you than the rest of us.
I wish I could help you, but I can't. I'm a rotter.
We are awfully sorry, but don't you remember Midsummer's Eve?
Midsummer's Eve? This room. Yes, this room. You. Was it you were going to look for something? The Tree of Knowledge, was it? Somebody wanted me to go too. Who was that? A lady, I think. Why did she ask me to go? What was I doing here? I was smoking a cigar. I had laid it down. Who was that lady?
Something About a second chance?
Yes, you poor dear. You thought you could make so much of it.
A lady who didn't like me. She had good reasons, too, but what were they?
A little old man. He did it. What did he do? Oh.
It is coming back. I'm not the man I thought myself.
Ah, I am not Mrs. Finchfallow. Who am I?
You were that lady!
It is you, my husband.
My dear, you are much better off, so far as I can see, than if you were Mrs. Fallow.
Yes, yes, indeed. But Will isn't.
Alice, I didn't know you when I was in the wood with Margaret. Margaret? Oh my God!
Oh, Will, I wish. I wish.
Lob, you old ruffian!
No. I'm rather fond of him, our lonely, friendly little host. Lob, I thank thee for that. I thank thee for that hour.
Did you see that his hand is shaking again?
Cheri has come back.
And yet they're both quite nice people.
We are all quite nice people.
If she were not such a savage.
I dare say there's nothing the matter with her except that she would have always chosen the wrong man. Good man or bad man, but it's the wrong man for her.
We can't change.
Jack says the brave ones of us can.
The ones with the thin, bright faces.
Then I guess there is hope for you and me, Jack.
I hope.
Shouldn't we better go to bed? It must be getting late.
To bed! Hold on to bed!
Breakfast is quite ready.
Breakfast?
There's a smell of coffee.
My watch is stopped.
And mine. Just as well, perhaps.
Oh, it smells so good.
Come along, Cody. I do hope you have not been tiring your foot.
I shall give it a good rest tomorrow, dear.
I have given your egg 6 minutes, ma'am.
A strange experiment, matey. Does it ever have any permanent effect?
So far as I know, not often, miss. But I believe once in a while, he could tell you.
We hope you've enjoyed our production of Dear Brutus. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this and future productions, visit us at www.pagetostagepro.com. Thank you, sir.
Hi, I'm Jean Frazier-Lee, and I'm so grateful to our director, Cheri Ayres-Graves, for this opportunity to play Alice Dearth.
in Dear Brutus, page to stage production again, working with them previously in the readings from O. Henry in conjunction with the Maple Valley Creative Arts Association, and performing by the newest form of quarantine entertainment called Zoom. I sincerely hope that in the near future we might perform this on stage before a live audience. J.M. Barrie, the author of Peter Pan, poses the question that if you had a second chance to choose a different life, would it truly be a better choice?
Hi, my name is Steve Rowe.
And I'm Shirley Rowe, and we've been married for 35 years, and we're the parents of 6 adults.
I've been a Boeing engineer for 39 years and a juggler for even longer than that.
And I'm a tutor of high school literature students, and I also teach Dance for All for the Maple Valley Arts for All program.
Last summer, we worked on the From Page to Stage community theater project, The Taming of the Shrew.
And this summer, we're really happy to be playing Mr. and Mrs. Coad for Page to Stage's community theater project, Dear Brutus. We'd like to thank our wonderful director, Sheree, our patient tech expert, Alex, and the talented cast for giving us this creative outlet during our shelter-at-home experience.
Hello, my name is Makaya Warren, and I play Joanna Trout in Dear Brutus. She is a young woman who discovers the irony of second chances. I'm very happy to be joining Page to Stage production for this show. I previously acted in 4 of their other plays, and this one ended my year hiatus from theater, giving it a second chance. I want to thank my parents for bringing me dinners during rehearsal, and for Snooki that she didn't bark as loudly.
Hi, my name is Kat Fox, and I am playing Mabel Purdie in Dear Brutus. I have been doing theater for my whole life, and I've been with From Page to Stage doing shows with Sheree and everyone else ever since they came to my middle school. I am very excited to be able to be in a production even though we're in this quarantine. I love theater so much that not even a worldwide pandemic can stop me.
Hi, my name is Camille Long, and I play Lady Caroline Laney. I'm a regular for From Page to Stage Productions. I had a lot of fun playing Lady Caroline. She's so stuck up, and I gotta do different postures, lift my chin and look down my nose and pronounce my R's as W's.
Hi, I'm Alex Honorati. I am a software developer at Warehouser, and I'm also a game developer on the side. I have been with Page to Stage doing some of our community summer plays for a few years now, and I'm really excited to be playing Métis, the butler, in Dear Brutus.
Hello, my name is Gideon Jennings. I play Jack Purdie in this play. I haven't been involved in Page to Stage productions before, but I've known of Sheree and her work through various connections. And when she reached out to me, I was very excited for the opportunity to be able to broadcast the show so that we can still do things even in quarantine in community with one another.
Hi, I'm Robert Lee, and I played Will Dearth. This is my second From Page to Stage production and my third overall production with Sheree. And like I'm sure all of us, my first performance on the Zoom platform. This has been a challenging but exciting project to work on. During this time when life hasn't been so sweet, we've taken life's lemons and made some delicious lemonade. It's been a fun cast to work with these past several weeks. And I would like to thank Sheree for letting me come and play, for being so easy to work with, and for allowing me to be a part of something revolutionary. Finally, thank you, the audience, for watching.
Hello, my name is Will Shockley. I play the lovable Lob in Dear Brutus. I read the script, and he was a childlike, ageless character, and that just suits me to the T. This is my first time ever acting in any kind of play, other than with little children. But the crew here and the cast are fantastic people. It's fun to get to know them.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Thomas. I'm 15 years old, and I play Margaret in this production of Dear Brutus. I had a really fun time with this new experience of theater, and it was really fun.
Hello, my name is Alex Philippides. I typically work behind the scenes as you don't see my face. This is quite an interesting way to handle all the text since it's way more than my usual pushing buttons and sliding little sliders, but it's been quite a fun experience and it's very new and I'm excited to have this opportunity.